Alright, here we are for our second round. We have a bunch of zones popped out from last time. This is our second 8-player tournament, by the way, after losing the first round of the last one in inglorious timeout fashion. So we won that arrow. We're going to play first. Got to click these things quickly so we actually have time. So this is kind of an interesting hand. We have Temple of Malady, which can enable us, if we draw a land, to play a Caryatid and then Courser, etc. If we don't, then we can at least play Elvish Mystic into Caryatid. I'm going to mulligan this. We don't really have all that many of our great tools. We do have a significant amount of mana acceleration, but if our opponent plays just like a Lightning Strike or something, we can be in a lot of trouble. So I'm going to mulligan this hand, and this is a better hand. We're a little short on action, but we can at least certainly cast our spells, which is nice. There's very little reason to play Windswept Heath into Elvish Mystic here. Well, that's actually not true. I take that back. For a second, I was thinking that I don't know. Yeah, no, I can do this. So we're just gonna play Temple of Malady, and we want to find action because next turn we can actually just play Elvish Mystic. Elvish Mystic. There's a Whip of Erebos. That's not really what we're looking for right now. It's a powerful card, but it is not something that does anything with the draw we actually have. So next turn we can Windswept Heath into Elvish Mystic. Elvish Mystic. So a Sandstep Citadel from the opponent. So Abzan over there, and I'm just going to go Mystic Mystic. Okay, Forest, play Mystic, Mystic. Alright. So now we're pretty much looking for anything. We're mostly looking for Blossoms, Eidolon of Blossoms. It's, you know, the real power card in the Plains. All right, and Caryatid. So, and we get a Forest. Just what we're looking for. All right. Well, I'm just gonna play Nykthos and excuse me. I actually think I don't want to attack. I can do 1 damage, but if I do 1 damage, then I force myself to delve to actually cast a Murderous Cut, and I don't think that's worthwhile. So I'm actually just gonna say go here and hold up Murderous Cut. I would rather leave my 1 card in the yard. My opponent does play like Siege Rhino. I want to Murderous Cut it here because I'm a little light on action and don't really have anything to stop, just like a Siege Rhino. And there's a Siege Rhino. So we're gonna go ahead and just Murderous Cut that. So cut you down. All right, there is a Brain Maggot, so that's a pretty easy cast here. Can disrupt our opponent slightly. Alright, so Abzan Charm, Sorin, Hornet Queen, and land. So I'm going to take Sorin here. My opponent's a little bit off of casting Abzan Charm, and I'm much better equipped to deal with Abzan, or a little bit off from casting Hornet Queen, and I'm much better equipped to deal with Hornet Queen than with Sorin. If my opponent resolves with Sorin next turn, it's actually quite bad for me. So, I'm going to go ahead and expand it. We're going to go ahead and take Sorin and attack. And play a land and say go. It's important to keep in mind that my opponent does have Abzan Charm in his hand, which means that at any point he could block with Sylvan Caryatid and pump the Sylvan Caryatid. So I don't want to attack my Brain Maggot into that next turn. Unless I just want to give him back Sorin. So we're just going to go ahead and attack with my Mystics. Don't want to attack with Brain Maggot. I'm fine if he uses Abzan Charm to pump his Caryatid and kill a Mystic. That's not really a big deal. Alright. And I'm still really heavy on mana here and light on action. This is definitely one of the... Alright, he's just going to draw cards. Oh, Downfall. Alright. Well, that's kind of unfortunate. Oh, gotta go sneeze. My allergies are really kind of obnoxious lately. So he has a Sorin now, which is kind of bad for me. It's a Courser. Wingmate Rock. All right. So I know my opponent's hand is Abzan Charm, Sorin, and a Hornet Queen. I'm going to go ahead and kill this. So he can't cast Hornet Queen next turn, and I don't want him to be able to cast Wingmate Rock anyway, so I just got to get rid of this. Ooh, a Commune. Okay, well that's a very good draw, because it could be a boat. I shouldn't have tapped my black mana in case I hit a whip, but we're going to take Doomwake Giant. And I actually don't want to cast it because I want to save it to be able to possibly deal with that Hornet Queen, or potentially, you know, a rock or something, or to, you know, kill if he uses Sorin. And if I cast it now, he can also just Abzan Charm it, so I'm going to hold on to it. We're really looking to draw an Eidolon of Blossoms. Like, that's by far the most important card for our ability to sort of generate an advantage in this matchup. The Abzan deck's very well equipped to just sort of go 1-for-1 and sort of eke out edges, but much less well suited to dealing with the card draw of Eidolon, especially when the removal that my opponent has right now, is Abzan Charm. So I'm guessing he's probably going to play Sorin here. Yeah, there's Sorin. And makes a Vampire. I drew Sylvan Caryatid. So I can attack Sorin with both, and if he blocks, I can play Doomwake. Then he can Abzan Charm Doomwake. I can also just play Doomwake first. This is just not very good for me. If I don't kill this Vampire, then he also could just Wingmate Rock me next turn. So this is all going pretty poorly, all told. We're going to go ahead and attack Sorin. And then, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and play a Caryatid. Maybe I should just cast Doomwake here, because that at least have a Doomwake to attack with, but I don't know, this is just a mess. Yeah, I was going to Wingmate Rock me, and I'm pretty dead. I could draw a Hornet Queen. That would actually be really good. Hornet Queen's a card that is very difficult for a lot of these Abzan decks to beat. Like, a Hornet Queen right here would be very powerful. Whirlwind or Waste. Slightly less powerful. So I'm pretty dead. Actually, it may just be dead, right? No, I take 8, 9, 10, 11. I can still potentially draw Hornet Queen. That's really my my out here. He has his own Hornet Queen. So now even if I play Hornet Queen, I probably can't live. Because he has enough damage with his Hornets to hit me. If I draw a... I think I'm dead. There's Hornet Queen. But yeah, I'm dead. Alright. So, sideboard-wise, I feel like Doomwake Giant is okay, but not great. I don't feel like I want the extras. Brain Maggot kind of stinks. I don't know that I'm not really all that impressed by Brain Maggot generally. Freaka is okay. I feel like there's a lot just against a deck like this. Maybe I want Thoughtseize. Dark Betrayal doesn't seem very good. It can kill Rhino, but that's not a huge deal. I think I just want Thoughtseizes over Brain Maggots. Actually, there's no sort of incidental ways to kill them. I guess Brain Maggots are fine. Freaka is okay. Again, not great. The games can go pretty long, and having ways to repeatedly trigger your devotion stuff or constellation stuff is pretty powerful. I do like cutting even a murderous cut. There aren't really that many creatures that I care too much about killing. I guess there's Siege Rhino, which you kind of want a murderous cut. Maybe just take out one of those. I feel like I end up with just way too much mana. Like with Wayfinder, Caryatid, and 4 Elvish Mystic, it seems like I'm just getting pretty heavily flooded. And if I don't actually get Eidolon going, then I'm just kind of in really bad shape. So I don't know if that's that's just some issue with the construction of the deck, but at least is a way that it's been operating. I'm going to cut 1 Elvish Mystic. This doesn't seem like a matchup where it's super important that you accelerate in, so I'm going to give this a shot. I don't really know. Alright, we'll play first. This hand is okay. We have Caryatid. We have a couple of Murderous Cuts. Again, not really the best card, but Caryatid is good, and we have a little bit of interactivity at least. So I'm going to keep... this deck does feel like it's very, very heavily reliant on getting either Caryatid... or not Caryatid, either Eidolon or Courser going somehow, because it is so dense with mana and enablers. I'm gonna go get my forest now. Alright, gonna go ahead and play Caryatid. And really need something proactive to do because I do have a Hornet Queen here, which is very powerful but very expensive, and I guess I could see some sort of accelerator that I draw or something like that, and potentially cast a Hornet Queen early. But right now this is pretty poor. All right, well another land. I'm just gonna go ahead and play this. Can help cheapen my Murderous Cuts. I'm actually just gonna sack it. Other than Courser, there's very little reason to keep this in play, and thinning my deck marginally is worth a little bit, and I'm gonna potentially want to be able to use Murderous Cut as well. So I'm just gonna cut that right now. I'm not doing anything proactive. And I don't want to just leave him with a Courser in play, so we're just going to go ahead and cast Murderous Cut on that. Thanks to Wooded Foothills, we can do it. Elvish Mystic, the perfect draw. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, well we can cast Hornet Queen next turn. And Hornet Queen is one of the best possible cards against a lot of these Abzan decks, so we'll see how it goes. Caryatid, sure. Alright, well, we both have Urborg, so I can play mine. I had been holding off playing my Urborg because I didn't want to give my opponent access to more black mana. Oh god, this makes clicking all of my things really annoying. I can hold M now, right? Yes. Awesome. The Commune is a pretty good draw. It enables me to hopefully find something like an Eidolon of Blossoms to start getting action going. Also helps fill my graveyard to enable Murderous Cut with Delve. So pretty good card to pick up at this point. Drown in Sorrow. Well, that is awkward. Alright. Doomwake, not really what we're looking for right now. We would like an Eidolon, please. Eidolon, exactly what I'm looking for. Green, green. I hope to not get ooh, that's a good one. I hope to not get drowned again. If this Eidolon lives and I have Pharika, I'm in very good shape. So we're hoping my opponent just can't kill this right now, basically. But he's tapping as a Bile-Blight. Okay, so I was ambitious to hope that my opponent couldn't kill that. Siege Rhino, okay. So I'm actually just going to play Pharika here. I guess I could play, I can play Pharika, although I should do this, have this for the colorless if I do. If I play Pharika here, I threaten to just make a token and kill Siege Rhino if he attacks. I could play Doomwake Giant. Then if my opponent has a removal spell, he can kill Doomwake Giant. But I can't actually play Doomwake Giant. Like if I play Pharika and activate it twice with Doomwake Giant in play, I can kill both Caryatids. So I'm going to play Doomwake Giant first, I think. Maybe not. Maybe my opponent has... He had 7 mana this turn, so if he had a Hornet Queen, he could have played it. So maybe I do just cast Pharika. I think I'm just going to cast Pharika. I wanna save the Doomwake Giant for now. If my opponent does have Hornet Queen or something of that ilk, having Doomwake Giant and be able to play, like if he plays, like a Sorin and makes a guy, I can play Doomwake, activate Pharika, and kill it. So right now I'm actually in a pretty good spot with just the Pharika. How many guys do I have in my yard? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so I have quite a few guys, and even just making 1/1 Death Touch creatures is actually relatively powerful. And Pharika is a card that my opponent can't actually kill. I'm super congested and need to blow my nose, but I can't see a tissue anywhere near me. I'm sure I'm just like horribly sniffling. My allergies are killing me. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and Pharika, my Elvish Mystic, and just that for now. Nykthos, just what I wanted. The worst card in my deck to draw right now is actually Nykthos, and I drew it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just attack with a snake. And I'm just going to say go. And my opponent is Abzan Charming. Alright, well, we've protected our Doomwake Giant from that Abzan Charm at least. Can I not see the mana my opponent's generating anymore? That's just not a thing. Where do I see like the mana in my opponent's mana pool? It seems like it's like kind of an important thing to know sometimes. Alright, I think I'm actually just not going to make a guy. These are all things that I'd like to be able to whip back, so I'm not really tempted to just sort of make them to try and go beatdowns here. Ooh, speaking of things that I might want to whip back. So, we'll play this. Oh, I should have done this differently. Oops. Well, no, actually, this is fine. No, I should have actually tapped mana. So now, yeah, I should have played this first, tapped it for mana, so I would have gotten an additional activation. Alright, well, green, black. He's actually doing it. He actually did that wrong, I think. He should have responded probably to my my activation here. Alright, well, I'm going to remove this one since another one's going to be in the yard. So I'm going to draw a card off this one. Alright, well, we will keep this one. Green 1. We'll play Seder Wayfinder. Let's get some more fuel in my yard. I could hit 9. I didn't even realize that. I probably should have killed one of those end step. I literally did not even notice that I was at 9. I should have also. No, never mind. I have a. I never played a land. Oops. I was gonna say I probably should have just murderous cut one of these guys during his end step if I realized I was that low. Because now, like, if I block, I'm actually just dead to another Siege Rhino. Even just like, ooh, Doomwake Giant. Alright, well, speaking of being dead, yeah, one of these guys should be dead. But at least one of these guys should be dead. Alright, 1 life. Let's see what we can do from here. Alright. Well, there's an Eidolon. So we need to cut, and make 2 guys. I can do that. He's 0 cards and he's drawing a Windmate Rock though. So, all right. So if I it'd be a lot easier to win if I had actually killed one of these because I realized I was at 9. And then I'm just going to die to Wingmate Rock probably, but I can play Doomwake. Yeah, I'm pretty dead. So I'm not really sure if I'm sideboarded correctly. I didn't expect my opponent to have Doomwake Giant in his deck, which makes a lot of what I have going on a lot weaker. For instance, the Hornet Queens are one of the best things going on in this deck. Freak is a powerful thing against a lot of what they're doing, but certainly not against Doomwake Giant. Alright, well, I'm just going to Murderous Cut both of these. think I actually might still... What just happened? How did I die? I just cast Murderous Cut. Did I tap... Oh, I tapped the thing for... I tapped the thing that said the wrong color. I thought I tapped the black or colorless, and I just died. I thought I tapped the black for Urborg or the colorless, and I just killed myself. Oh well. I was losing this game anyway, but that was awkward. But yeah, a couple things I clearly did wrong here. I wasn't paying attention to my life total. Should have killed one of the siege rhinos, maybe even both the siege rhinos prior to when I did. I was sort of trying to hold my murderous cuts to protect myself from something like Wingmate Rock, because I had Farika and felt like I could use that as protection. It's possible that I should have cybered differently. I wasn't really anticipating how much my opponent had to sort of hate out Hornet Queen as well as Farika. The combination of Drown in Sorrow and Doomwake Giant certainly made keeping in Blight or Brain Maggot pretty bad. But I don't know. Overall, the first game I just basically didn't draw anything, and this game, the stuff that I did draw just didn't line up very well against what my opponent had. I had a really pretty slow draw with my first real threat being Hornet Queen, and then my opponent was just able to remove it. And then had kill spells for all of my stuff from that point on, and then I killed myself by tapping this for Painland, I guess. So anyway, let's try and play the next one a little bit better, and see if we can't learn a little bit more. Right now, I haven't really been impressed by this deck so far, and obviously, that doesn't mean it wasn't a good deck when it was played by any means. In a lot of cases, a deck that was good a week or two ago is a lot worse just because people have adapted to it. Stuff like the Reclamation Sages I ran into before, stuff like people being very prepared for Hornet Queen in their Abzan decks. When you look at this, Doomwake Giant, Drown in Sorrow, Bioblight, those are all cards that aren't Abzan cards. They're cards that you can play in your Abzan deck, but they aren't cards that we saw a lot of in a lot of Abzan decks before. And they do make a lot of the best cards in a deck like this a lot worse, at least in the matchup. So anyway, let's go on to the next match and see what we can do.